we just haven't seen that all season. That's been a bread and butter play. It's been automatic, and it fails here tonight, whether it's the footing down there on this grass field.
Buffalo Bills game day on the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
All right, here we go. We got to have a drive.
23 left.
1, 2, 3.
It's time for the postgame show with Shope and the Bulldog.
Well, I guess that's it.
Kansas City wins again. 32-29. The Bills lose at Arrowhead Stadium. Their season dying in the AFC playoffs for the 6th year in a row. The 5th year in a row after having won the AFC East. They don't get the bye, but they roll over Denver and get past the Ravens, who many thought were the actual best team in the conference. And they go to play a Chiefs team that they were due to beat, that we kind of thought wasn't really that good. And they couldn't do it, despite having the lead in the fourth quarter. Here's Josh Allen.
But to beat the champs, you gotta to beat the champs, you gotta beat the champs, and we didn't do it tonight.
You take it through the fourth down play there under pressure.
Yeah, they gave a good look. Didn't see anything in my first cadence. We were sliding left. Corner came. Yeah.
Josh, I think when the season began, a lot of people were thinking, well, maybe a down year for the Bills, reset year, even all that stuff. But when you get this close, none of that, how much of that even matters when it comes to how successful you view this season?
Yeah, you can either get it done or you can't, and we didn't get it done.
The pass the ball late in the first half, how much of a jolt did that give you guys to get you back in the game?
Huge joke. He's played his ass off all year and made plays today. Curtis made plays. Guys made some plays today. We got to make one more and score one more point than them, and we didn't do that tonight.
What did they do on the 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 plays?
They got big guys in there. They played it well.
Josh, how much was just a lot of today failed execution on things that you guys were able to execute on in the season?
That's hard to tell right now until we watch it. I'm not quite sure, but the result is a loss, and so to answer your question, not good enough.
Josh, despite the heartbreak, you know that when you touch down probably in a few hours, there's going to be a sea of people waiting there for you. The idea of Western New York and them riding on this, what are your thoughts on this fan base?
They're the best, but we just want to get it done, and we haven't been able to.
Josh, when you get the ball back down 3, how did you feel about the situation?
Felt good, relaxed. We just, gotta execute better.
Josh, how much does the fact that it's been this specific team that's ended you guys this season so often in the playoffs add to the disappointment there?
Well, they've ended a lot of team seasons too. And it's a good squad. They had a good plan tonight, and again, they made one more play than we did.
It may take a couple days, but how much pride do you take in this group for the season they had?
I got so much pride in our guys, showing up each and every day, working as hard as they can. Guys truly adopted what we talked about this year going into it. Love these guys.
Josh, they made it really difficult for you on those quarterback sneaks when you had more success. Everything you were catching, the defensive line was doing, were they just read it and getting good jumps? What was the problem?
Yeah, I think 1, jumps, 2, they played it well, put their big guys inside, and our linebackers were coming downhill pretty hard, and they played it well.
Thanks, everybody.
That's it.
Yeah. I thought I heard a thanks, Josh.
Let him walk away. Let him have a shower. It ends for the Bills again in Kansas City, 32-29. Mike Shope and the Bulldog here. The Chiefs advance to meet the Eagles in Super Bowl 59. The Bills come back home and yet again try to figure out what to change. And I'm not sure what that answer is for me. I'm not even sure I know really right now how they lost. Other than they played an equally great team, if not a better team, but I'm not sure it was better. It's close. and they didn't get there, and there were the small details, but it's not yet, to me, as obvious as it's been other times. And that's a relative term, Other times, obvious was, well, I guess, know what to do when there are 13 seconds left. Although, now that I think of that game, I suppose I have to say this team is still not yet out of that shadow.
No, I don't think. I mean, we said 4 years ago, right around this time, I think that is going to haunt this team and this fan base until they win it. And even though today, we haven't taken a single call yet, so we'll see how the fans are feeling about it. But I don't think there's like a smoking gun. You got beat. You got beat by a better team. They made the play they needed to make on fourth down there, and the Bills didn't. I mean, it's crazy how much of a wing and a prayer that throw ultimately looked like. I'm talking about the final fourth down play on offense for the Bills. Allen is just met with pressure, unblocked, right in his face. He sort of moved. He drifted right at the snap, and that's where the corner came in unblocked and just chucked it up. And, I mean, it's not an easy play to make, but Kincaid could have caught that ball. Like, it wouldn't have been a circus catch either. It was a, low throw, diving catch. He got both hands under it, and he just missed it.
He had to stop. He's running to his left. He had to stop and turn and get low. He's a professional.
Yeah.
It was there. It was makeable.
It's not easy, but it's makeable.
It's amazing that Allen gets that ball to him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he threw that ball like, oh, we're done. And then it comes down, and it's not until a little while later they give you the really good replay that shows you. I think they went to commercial and came back and showed you Kincaid with both hands on it.
You know what? Know what, though, Bulldog? Like, this is 6 years, including the Houston year. It's 6 years in a row for the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott Bills to make the playoffs and then get beat. Is this going to be on Allen at all? Like, the way this game started, there could have been 2 interceptions on the first 3 plays. There weren't. This team, with due respect to it and to him, lived a charmed life this year. I mean, there was even a fumble or 2 in this game. They just could not physically possibly turn the ball over. And I think they were +1 tonight, which makes them 20 games in a row. But
no, Allen
we're going to see that play. We're going to see other plays. Like, what else did he have?
We're going to see the end. It's very similar to last week, right? Lamar Jackson got a lot of credit for being a gamer and being good down the stretch and getting Baltimore in a position where they could have tied the game, and we'll see what happens with 1:30 left. But whatever. His biggest fans, I think, wanted to shield him from the criticism of the first half mistakes. Allen didn't make mistakes per se, right? Turnovers that end up on the board. But he missed a bunch of throws early in this game. He looked very shaky. 3 passes that could have been picked off in the first quarter, including the 2 on the first drive. He dropped a shotgun snap that was a perfect snap. And he also missed Curtis Samuel on a pretty easy pitch and catch under no pressure that would have been a 20-yard gain easy. He was just not sharp, but he got there.
Mahomes gave them a turnover back.
Yep.
Sorry.
Will it stick to him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't sharp early, and KC got out in front, and you had to battle back. You battled back enough to get the lead, but then just could not make another play. Even after your defense stopped them held them to that late field goal. I think you gotta. As much as I thought this game was going to be a more comfortable win for the Bills, you're playing in Kansas City. They go up by 3 with what's left in the game. 3 minutes?
3:33.
Okay. I think you got to feel pretty good, right?
Well,
here comes my guy, and touchdown wins, field goal ties, and they couldn't get there.
I'll tell you later when I felt great. Here's Sean McDermott.
Just came up a little bit short tonight against a really good football team. Losing CB hurt us early there. But overall, the guys battled and just came up a little bit short tonight. Looks like it could have gone either way. We had some plays. I thought some plays were had a chance to convert a 4th down there, 4th and short, and then another 4th down late in the game there, and looked like we had a chance to catch it. didn't work out that way. So time's yours.
It seemed like they were on to the Josh, 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 run that's been so successful for you. Why keep going back to that play?
Well, it's been our best play all year, at 1 or inside of 1 yard, and we won some of those. But to your point, they were doing a good job. I thought overall, maybe we could have disguised it, maybe not. But at the end of the day, we have confidence in Josh and our offensive line to get those, and they've been getting them all year.
You got a couple stops in the third quarter from the defense, but overall, did you feel like defensively you just couldn't get off the field when you needed to?
Yeah, in particular in the first half, and then 1 or 2 drives in the second half there, just didn't do a good enough job getting pressure on Mahomes, and looked like they were spitting the ball out at times, on the perimeter as well. So that combination, I thought, was hurting us more than anything.
This is 4 years, 4 out of 5 years now against this opponent in the postseason. How frustrating in the immediate aftermath is it just being unable to get over the hump against this team?
Well, they're a good football team. They've won 2 Super Bowls. They've been to 7 straight AFC Championship games, and that's no excuse. This is a good football team. We got to keep working to get over that hump. There's no doubt about it. So we've won a lot of tough games this year against really good opponents, really good coaches, and I'm proud of this football team for it. So this is obviously a challenge for us. We'll figure it out.
You mentioned the catch on 4th down. What do you say to a young player like Dalton Kincaid who doesn't come up with a play in that spot in a big moment?
Yeah, no, he gave it everything he had. I can't. I love Dalton Kincaid, and sometimes those work out. He makes more of those than he doesn't, and he'll make the next one.
After a game like this, what's kind of like the speech after the game? What do you say to keep them motivated through the whole season?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the result. We gave everything we had, and I told the players that I'm extremely proud of them. Wasn't the result we were looking for, but they gave this season everything they had, and this team everything they had, and you guys saw it out there until the very last play. And those guys were going for it, and I appreciate that.
What did you make of Josh's performance overall?
I thought he played a heck of a game. I really did. It's a shame that we're down 3 with the ball in Josh's hands, and I felt really good about our chances. I really did, and give credit to their defense. They made the stops there, and then that one ball falls short. The one to Dalton there. So, it's a shame. We had a great season, and this is a team I'll remember for a long time.
Cook's touchdown run, the second one, seemed like one of the more remarkable individual efforts you'll ever see. What did you think of that play?
Yeah, incredible. I mean, that's the effort that I've been trying to describe to you guys. It wasn't short for effort at all. These guys love each other. They played for each other. They played for the city of Buffalo, which I'm extremely proud of.
You mentioned the injury to Benford. What did that change for you guys defensively?
Well, I mean, you lose your starting corner. It affects you. They seem like they were then starting to target a little bit and target some of our corners, and so just that's smart on their part, right? So when you lose a corner, usually that's what people do. And again, like I said, I thought that they were doing a good job of getting the ball on the perimeter, testing our corners, and we couldn't get enough pressure on the quarterback where those two worked together, right? Whether we blitzed or went with a 4-man rush, and then he scrambled and extended some plays there too, where we need to do a better job there. So that's really what it came down to.
You mentioned not having Benford, but not having Taylor Lock in this game. How did that affect you?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into having this guy, not having this guy. Those are excuses. We don't do that. So our guys played their hearts out. We came up a little bit short against a really good football team. We go back to trying to figure it out in terms of how we can beat this football team, and we got to look at everything.
Thank you. How hard was it to got the stop?
Yeah.
The field was fine. I mean, you hadn't done good in the red zone.
Yeah.
To not finish that, I mean, how heartbreaking.
Yeah, like I said, you weren't in here for it, but I said I felt good about being down 3 with the ball in Josh's hands, plenty of time, and 3 timeouts, I believe, at the time. It felt really good. We were in a good spot to go win the game. And honestly, when we converted that first one, we moved the chains the first time, and then we're in a situation where we've got 3 timeouts. We're 2-minute warning-ish, right? And then we don't convert. So that's what these games come down to.
What did you see on the catch that you challenged, the Worthy catch? What did you see to make it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, with the penalty, I didn't think we were going to, get the ball necessarily, but just wanted to make sure field position at that point was going to be significantly different. Upstairs thought it may have been in our control. So again, we weren't going to get the ball, but just wanted to try and win field position a little bit there. In the first half, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and it was a big play field position-wise, the difference there.
Special teams would be key in this. Yeah. What was going to be a close game? They had a long punt return that set up a scoring drive. What did you see any breakdown there?
Not that I could see. I mean, it looked like he just got to the edge a little bit there, and they made a play.
Did you get any kind of look on that fourth down that they reviewed and Josh didn't get?
I didn't. I mean, the look we had in the stadium, which you don't know I don't know for sure because they have a mixed look feed in the stadium. If it's the same feed that the TV had or not, I thought he had it. The line was just short of the line was actually the first down. What it looked like to me when it was sitting next to me with the marker, just inside that white stripe was the first down, and it looked like he got to it. That's all I can say.
Does that make it tougher when these games come down the way?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah. Darn right it does. I mean, that's a possession. We're up 1 point, I believe, at the time. A chance to go up maybe multiple scores at that point. It's a big call. Yeah, it's absolutely a big call.
Take a step past the divisional round this year. What's the message to the team heading into the offseason now with how things turned out?
It's a little early for that, but yeah, I mean, we're a good football team. We're a good organization. We've had a heck of a season. There's momentum going into next year. We played a lot of young guys, some because they earned it, some because out of injuries. So this is good experience for quite a few of those guys, and every year is different, right? So you start from scratch every season, but we're thankful for the success that we had this year. It hurts because when you come up short of the Super Bowl or winning a Super Bowl, it hurts. But the games come down to inches, as you asked me about. So,
okay, thank you.
Right, thank you, guys.
Sean McDermott says that he felt good about the Bills' chances down 3 after the ultimately decisive Kansas City field goal with 3:33 left. So did I. I agree with him. Felt good, too. I felt good about the Bills' chances almost throughout this game, leading in the fourth quarter, cutting into the lead at halftime, and even then. But ultimately, Kansas City wins again. Sean McDermott's press conference brought to you by Northtown Kia, Western New York's #1 Kia dealer. Shop at northtownkia.com. Mike Shope and the Bulldog here. Let's get you the Skyworks stats of the game from this 32-29 Kansas City win in the AFC Championship. Brought to you by Skyworks Equipment Rental, building America from the ground up.
Josh Allen on the day, 22 of 34 passing for 237 yards, 2 touchdown passes. He ran the ball 11 times for 39 yards. Was really stymied on those tush-push type plays there, though. Kansas City had a solution for that, and huge plays. Those plays, the 2-point conversion misses. There's 2 2-point conversion misses.
Just
Holy
like Baltimore.
cow, just so close. Cook rushing on the day, 13 for 85, 2 more touchdowns to add to his pile for the year. That's really it rushing-wise. Receiving, Mac Hollins wearing Gabe Davis's number 13. Hello. 3 for 73 and a score, and another long play downfield for Hollins in this game. Cook 3 for 49. Khalil Shakir 6 for 46. Cooper 4 for 33. On the Kansas City side, Mahomes goes 18 of 26 for 245, 1 touchdown. Man, he killed the Bills with his legs. 11 for 43 and 2 rushing touchdowns, and these were not cheapies. I mean, he really, I don't know when I've seen him more effective, more dangerous with his legs here. It was really effective anyway. Kareem Hunt, 17 for 64. Xavier Worthy leads the way receiving, 6 for 85. He carried the ball a couple of times for 16 yards as well. Worthy had a touchdown receiving also, by the way. Travis Kelce, 2 for 19. Man, that's one of those stat lines. We're sitting here doing this show after a game, and I tell you on Friday, hey, Travis Kelce, 2 for 19. You're winning that game. I cannot believe they did that job on that guy and still got beat like they did.
I might change my mind 10 times on how they lost. So I'm not sure this is right. I mean, you could always do different things here. But down 3 minutes left, the final series of the Bills season ultimately on offense. Allen throws one away over the middle. Looked like it could have been a pick, but it kind of Romo got there too. It looked like maybe he was just throwing the ball away. Didn't have it. Deep middle. The second down play, 2nd and 10, was a pass into the line. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it didn't get past the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. He finds Amari Cooper for 5 yards out to the right flat before the 2-minute warning, and then there's the desperation heave to Kincaid, who could have caught it, but that's obviously not the play you want. He sort of runs into the fire on that play. Kansas City gets the ball back. It's not over. 3 timeouts. They make 2 plays on play-action fakes to running backs. One to Pacheco to the right for a first down. The final play to Pirine to the left for a first down. Pirine hadn't had a touch in the entire game. That's just maybe the difference. One team has been there, is at home, had the bye, and just figured out how to finish. And the Bills couldn't. 2-point misses, that's the Ravens on the road. Pressure's on.
Right.
And maybe this season comes down to that Kansas City had the benefit of the home field and the bye week. It's impossible to know how to, measure that, what that was for the Bills in this game. They will not tell you that mattered, right? Because that sounds like an excuse. But they had to play in not week 18, but they had to play the wild card round when Kansas City didn't. Then they had to play Baltimore. And then a day after, the Chiefs had to play Houston. And then the Bills had to go there, and they barely lost. I don't know. Sean McDermott's press conference, by the way, Bulldog. Did I say already?
I don't remember.
Brought to you by Northtown Kia, Western New York's #1 Kia dealer.
Doesn't hurt to say it again.
I'm probably supposed to say it 50 times. Shop at northtownkia.com.
The 4th down, we'll have time to really get into this, but just it came up there. That 4th down play, the last gasp of the season, it's just a great job by Spagnuolo and that Chiefs defense to disguise that blitz the way they did. The Bills, I think, you'll probably see this play 5,000 times if you're someone who follows the accounts that put the dots out that show you the choreography of these plays. Shakir, you've seen it all year. Shakir did the double back motion where he comes from left to right, spins around behind Allen, and as the ball is snapped, is running out to the left flat. The play breaks down so quickly because that corner is right on top of Allen, but it was so there. It was so there. There's so much space. There's one other KC defender, but there's another Bill receiver right in front of him. Not only could it have been a first down, it might have been a touchdown, and we'd have been talking about it was too fast. Who knows? But there was a lot of room there. I mean, I think Brady dialed up the play that they wanted, but Kansas City, much like the 4th and 2 in Buffalo back in November, they gave him a different look, and Allen just improvised with his legs and made it. This time there was no escape. He couldn't get out, and the best he could do was fend off that rusher for as long as he could and chuck up a prayer that Kincaid still could have caught. But Shakir, the play that I think they wanted was Shakir in the left flat, and it was wide open.
Was that the play? Was he the first read? You're saying we don't know. Maybe
right. I'm suspecting that he was, and that got totally thrown off by the dude being right in Allen's face. But
if Allen's looking for that, doesn't he look left first then?
I think he takes the snap, and to sort of complete the whole to not draw anybody there, I think he doesn't look over there right away, and then he gets there.
Okay, he did say, for all intents and purposes, he was not expecting that, which that seems reasonable.
The guy, the
corner
blitzer?
blitz.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We'll look for your calls next at 716-803-0550. Mike Shope and the Bulldog, Kansas City 32, Buffalo 29. This is Buffalo Bills football on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Snapdragon Apples, the official apple of the Buffalo Bills.
By Houghton University. Discover surprisingly affordable Christ-centered university right here in New York.
By Verizon, the Buffalo Bills, powered by Verizon.
And by Tullamore Dew. When it's game time, it's Tully time. This is Buffalo Bills football.
The official voice of the Buffalo Bills, WGR Sports Radio 550 and WGR550.com. This is a Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update.
The Buffalo Bills falling once again to the Kansas City Chiefs 33-29 in the AFC Championship game, marking an 0-4 record against the Chiefs in their last 4 games in the postseason. The Chiefs once again heading to the Super Bowl, while the Bills also remain winless on the road in the playoffs since the 1992 AFC Championship game. Josh Allen, 22 of 34 for 237 yards and 2 touchdowns in the air in this loss. James Cook leading the way for the Bills on 13 carries, registering 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mac Hollins leading the Bills in receiving, 3 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. Patrick Mahomes, 18 of 26, 245 yards passing and 1 touchdown in the air, while Mahomes also added 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground in the win for Kansas City. What's next for the Bills? Another painful exit into the offseason as Buffalo looks once again at the Chiefs, ending their year. One more game left still in the NFL season, and that is the Super Bowl, which will be a rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia blew out the Washington Commanders earlier today, 55-23. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, each with 3 rushing touchdowns in that win. This update delivered by the UPS Store. Be unstoppable. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Allen looking, fires, and it's complete to Curtis Samuel for the touchdown! 4th and goal is good for Buffalo! And with 6:15 left, they're down a point.
Eye on the quarterback. It's brought to you by Great Lakes Building Systems. We keep an eye on your business so you don't have to. Great Lakes Building Systems, our business is protecting your business. Once more, very quickly, Allen on the day, 22 of 34 for 237 and 2 touchdowns. He carried the ball 11 times for 39 yards. It was very shaky to start this game.
11 for 39 you would just not have signed up for. Everybody thought Allen would run because that's what always happens when they need the game. But nothing came easy.
No.
Mahomes, it came easier.
Yeah. I would say down in the playoffs, Allen's running. The teams did a good job on it. Even Denver and Baltimore, they were just sort of like shutting it down. They did a good job of keeping him inside.
There's only one reason why that makes logical sense when you consider it was 3 games in a row, if not more. Teams did not enough respect the threat of Allen throwing on them. And the Bills asked for that. That's how they wanted to play. That's how they played all year. They had a great season. But they did not afford themselves the luxury that they've had in previous years where, including playoff games in Arrowhead Stadium, where Allen, when he needed to go, could go. And that's not like something you can always control. But they were not a team that really ever established that they could throw the ball above you, past you, to the extent that you had to commit a 3rd or 5th defensive back or whatever you needed to do to make your life harder when it came to stopping him when he took off. I don't know. That's always been my worry about this season, and saying it right now feels like, yeah, I told you, I don't feel like that at all. Like they could have won this game. They had the ball in the 4th quarter with the lead twice. They stopped Kansas City 3 and out after taking the lead in the 4th quarter,
right,
and still didn't win.
That's when they stalled, right? That's the 4th down at midfield, where
which he might have made it.
It was the official coming from the high side, the Bills sideline. The high side, as you're watching on TV, was running in where you would have thought he would have marked the ball for a first down, but the bottom official won the day, and the replay you couldn't see the ball. So I don't know what that guy up high thought he saw, but nonetheless, huge. I mean, what a huge factor in the game. I was worried when it happened at the end of the first half that McDermott would get really shaky about going for it on fourth downs now, because like my automatic play isn't automatic anymore. And, you know, he still went for it, but it wasn't automatic. I mean, the evidence speaks for itself. It's maybe the most impactful thing that happened in the game at all was that Kansas City found a way to stuff that. And the Bills didn't have – the only answer they had was Allen doing the, like, jump and dive, you know, put the ball over the line. And that comes at some peril because it's like they said on the telecast, it's not like a touchdown. You know, you break the plane for the first down. Great, you got the yard, but now the ball is hanging out there, and it almost – I don't know if it came out and he just landed on it or what happened there. But
first play of the fourth quarter.
Pretty scary play there, yeah.
Getting connected with the fans, powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store tomorrow. Tonight's tough. I don't know. Are they open? Are they that good, Verizon? Let's go to as soon as you can, get to your local Verizon store. Here's Rich with us. Hi, Rich.
Dejected, very dejected, very surprised. But you know what? First and foremost, the expectation for the team after the roster getting dissected wasn't much. I was scared. They did a hell of a job even getting this far. Tired of freaking the Chiefs taking us out. And honestly, I think we should have won that game. Not for nothing, Matt Collins, hell of a game. Hell of a game. Should have put the ball in Allen's legs a little bit more. The same token, the last play of the game, Kincaid, you got to catch that ball. You're a stud tight end. At the same token, Allen got drove into the turf. Drove. How's that on a flag? If that was Mahomes,
no, stop. He had the ball. He had the ball when the guy started tackling him. That is not roughing. And if Mahomes this or if Mahomes that, I'm not trying to jump on you. I think you're going down a path I don't want to go down.
I think I want to not blame Kincaid. So the play is really just starting, and he is going to his right across the defense toward the sideline. He has no reason to think the ball is going to be there that soon. He has to stop and then turn and get low. It's makeable. But, man, like that's a great catch if he comes up with that ball, I think. The play, where are we at here? Twitter is like, the Bills have run this play many times, and it's Shakir back to the left, and Allen runs into the fire instead of taking the play to Shakir, which could have gone for 50. Yeah. Like, there's nobody there. So his thought was not expecting that blitz from the right to run into it, and he ends up dead. And it's great on him that he gets the ball to a point where Kincaid might catch it.
Yeah.
But it's a gimme.
Right. I think the drifting to the right, like he ends up into the teeth of the pressure. Obviously, he said after the game he didn't expect that guy to come, and I buy that because I think that play. I don't have a highlight ready to show everyone, but I think that play, part of the design is Allen draws his eyes draw the defense away from Shakir. That's why it's so open. He's going to wait and then turn to his left and just pop it out there to him. Almost right at the line of scrimmage is where Shakir might catch the ball, but it just blew up so damn quick that while he's trying to carry that part out, I think, anyway. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. We can just argue about it for 7 months. But I think the blitz really surprised him there, and I really think the design. My friends are texting me using Shakir as a decoy there. I don't think so. I think Allen is playing it out the way it's designed, and it's to draw everyone away and then hit Shakir, and the blitzer just blew it up.
Well, he still had time if that's the first read to just turn and throw the ball to the left. But it's fourth down, and he's got to have the feeling, the instinct there that he can get 5 yards. It's 4th and 5 that he can get 5 yards on that play. He did not have that instinct. Here is Rob next. Hi, Rob.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. There are obviously a lot of reasons why they lost the game tonight, but I'm frustrated that the coaching staff didn't learn from Baltimore's mistakes, that they chased the point all night. That heave at the end of the game to Kincaid should have been a punt. They took a point off the board because Kansas City was offsides. The math didn't dictate going for 2. Obviously, they miss. Now they're chasing the point later on. Instead of kicking, they go for 2 again. That's 2 points they're missing. When Kansas City scored to go up by 1, of course they're going to go for 2. But they should have been down by 1. That's an obvious kicking situation.
It's not obvious. It's not obvious.
Swing.
It's not obvious. Why do teams do it?
I'm sick of analytics. I'm tired of analytics.
Okay.
That's a 3-point swing. That should have been a punt at the end of the game.
All right. Well, that's your take. Rob goes into the offseason. They should have punted at the end. I do not. Let's go to Neil next. Hi, Neil.
Before you cut me off, because you've already cut off 2 people, let me say a couple before this. Travis Kelce mocked Damar Hamlin in the end zone with his concussion. Did you see that? Travis Kelce.
How long should callers get? As long as they want?
60 seconds. And that's all I'm going to need. That's all I'm going to need.
All right, you're halfway through.
I'm starting the clock now, Neil, because I got to tell you, the sound of your voice is already annoying me.
Well, tough. Number 1.
I'm already done. Too many people have interesting things to say. I have no faith in that guy. Mark is next. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for calling.
I think the play calling, again, as in the Baltimore game, got too conservative on offense. I mean, 3rd and 10, and we're running a wide receiver screen to Cooper there with the game on the line. I don't even think that's Joe Brady. I think that's an extension of Sean McDermott's philosophy, and I think it's like killing this team.
It got them here. Did you think that before tonight? I mean, I kind of did. I struggled all year with what was happening this season. Like, they're getting by on turnovers. They're a running team. This game was that game, too. Cook, 85-2. Few catches. Cook, amazing play on the touchdown to put them ahead.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, Cook scored 19, 20 touchdowns. Like, that is what they wanted. And I don't know you, Mark. Was it Mark? I don't know him. Maybe he struggled, too, all year. But I know I did. Even Sal. Like, we talk to Sal every week, and the last couple of weeks, Sal, I just want to be done fighting this. This is how they play. They've won 5 straight division titles. People think they're better than Kansas City. Maybe they are. But I guess you'd want to say it shouldn't be surprising at all that they weren't different tonight. And it was close to successful. Like, they almost made the Super Bowl in an offense that ran through James Cook, who didn't even play more than like 55% of the snaps, and he still scored 19 touchdowns. The whole year was just very confusing to me. But there's no way they were going to be different tonight. Not that the caller is saying he's saying they should have been, but I don't know who everybody calling in is. I just know my voice has been out there, and I've never been comfortable with it. And so here's a game where they almost did it again. They won the turnover battle for the 20th game in a row. That's a record. That's actually mind-blowing. And still, they lost. I mean, just I don't know. It's too soon. Like I always wanted them to. I always wanted them to be a more downfield team, but they didn't build one.
No,
they didn't have one.
They didn't have one.
They didn't have a downfield
even with
team.
Cooper here. Maybe
right.
it really says a lot about their philosophy and the build of their team, that with their season on the line there, a 3rd and 10 play that leads to a 4th and 5 desperation heave to the middle of the field, it is a pass, like barely past the line of scrimmage, if it's even past the line of scrimmage, to Amari Cooper.
Right.
Someone who you brought here. I mean, even in the regular season meeting against the Chiefs, he beat his man downfield a couple of times. But it wasn't just not. They haven't been that team all year, and I'm sure we'll get to. Is that what needs to be addressed? Because everybody eats was fine, and they got their 29 points again tonight. They score.
Look, the Chiefs went over 30.
Right, first time all year. They needed one more drive. They needed a couple of more plays, and for all the. For all the things that happen in a game, it's a 60-minute game. Things happen in the first half that hurt this team. But in the end, your guy's got the ball in his hands, and you got a touchdown to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe. It might be a little dramatic. Who knows how much time is left and what KC can do to you if they get it back at all, if you don't run it expertly and run the clock all the way down enough. I felt great when they held them to a field goal, and I'm getting Josh Allen back on the field with 3.5 minutes to go in my timeouts. Like, let's go.
Oh my gosh,
This
me
is
too.
this is the game. There's always would you take this? Would you take that? And I think during the week I was greedy because I thought the Bills were the better team in this matchup, and I didn't want to sign up for any end of game drama. Right? I wouldn't have said, "Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take I'm down by 3 with 3 minutes to go and give me the ball," because I'm thinking I was going to have a better night than that, but I didn't, and they didn't, and here we are.
Right, we had that whole thing about would you go for 2 at a late touchdown? And there a lot of people said what you said, like, "Oh, this is going to be way easier than that." That's not exactly how you put it.
But that's how I felt. I'll own that paraphrase if you want. I mean, I don't think that's unfair.
I wouldn't take it. Easier game.
Right.
It was not. 32-29 Chiefs. Mike Shope and the Bulldog with more next. This is Buffalo Bills football on WGR Sports Radio 550.
The Buffalo Bills post-game show is being brought to you by North
Bills season ends at Arrowhead Stadium again, 32-29, the final. Another classic, I suppose, in the rivalry between these two teams. Kansas City on to its, how many is it? 5th Super Bowl in 6 years? 2 weeks from tonight.
That's what it is.
In New Orleans against the Eagles. Man. I was so excited to just talk smack about Philadelphia for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a top 3 answer for me on why I wanted this.
Yeah, you were going hard in here before the Bills game even started about Big Dom and everything.
Dom?
Like we're ready to go.
Who does this guy think he is?
Yep.
Big Dom.
Yeah.
What just like an ugly franchise for me, and I was ready. I just would have loved that. Isn't that what you like about sports? Is sort of to hate on other teams and people. Well, you have your own, and then you hate on the others.
It's definitely a key ingredient.
I have a much easier time hating Philadelphia than the Chiefs. But the Chiefs...
I'll get there on the Chiefs. I don't know.
Keep winning. That's not great. 803-0550 for your calls. Who's good here? Justin is next. Hi, Justin.
What's going on, guys?
Hi.
I feel bad, man. I know you guys know what you're about to get with all these callers and the
You mean right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, this is the same as it ever was, really. So whatever. We've got scars to.
Don't
handle
worry about it.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, the scars are there, but no, we weren't expected to do much this year. We weren't expected to win the division, and I'm happy for the Bills and what they did. It's I will say, Greg Rousseau played probably one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Elam just got bullied. Hamlin got bullied. It felt like when Benford went out, the life of the defense just got sucked out. Like they knew what was going to happen. But the end of the game, it doesn't sit right. I feel like the Bills, they beat the Ravens in like dramatic fashion, and we all had this feeling of like, okay, look, this is our year, and then all of a sudden we lose in dramatic fashion, tight end to tight end, which is kind of crazy. I don't know, guys. I'm just venting. I'm just sad.
It's cool, man. I hear you. It can be hard. Like everybody's different. And I don't know that my mindset after a game like that serves this show or the audience the best that it could. But I don't. I have a hard time getting fired up and screaming about this or that or this coach or this decision or that decision, because I think a lot of fans, if they're anything like me, are just sort of, you're dejected, and there'll be time to pick it all apart and figure out what should have been and could have been and all that stuff. But man, a night like now, just I want to be here for a dude like that who doesn't even know what the hell he's trying to say.
That's how I feel.
Just like I don't know, I don't even know what I'm saying. I just so disappointed. Like, yeah, me too. Next. I mean, really, I don't mean to be crass and rush you. It's just, that's how I think a lot of people feel. Not everyone, but I think a lot of people.
Isn't it more sort of like not insane to not know? McDermott's even getting a question from some professional about like the offseason. He's like, how am I supposed to tell you that right now?
It's a little early for that.
It's a little early for that.
Yeah.
So it was not the kind of game where, okay, well, this has to be different. And it was the kind of season where it was always, like, I guess this is fine. I mean, this is working. And you don't want to ignore that a half an hour after the game ended or whatever it is at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that just doesn't seem right. It's more just like, how many chances do you need?
Yeah, how are you ever going to beat this team?
To get there, right?
I said on Friday, if they win and get to the Super Bowl again and win it or not, but I mean win it obviously, 3 in a row, historic, never been done. We're going to spend the whole offseason, and by the time we get to September, the Chiefs, I think, are going to feel inevitable. And that is no way to start the process of another 17-game regular season. But that's how it's going to feel.
Remember,
it's going to get harder and harder for us to imagine the Bills ever pulling this off.
Yeah. I don't even know the guy, but the guy, Kevin, who I like on Twitter, he's locked, but he's super sharp. He tweets about the Sabres a lot.
I'm not sure who we're talking about.
And the schedule, I've referenced this tweet numerous times. The schedule came out, and like there's like the CBS tweet, week 11, whatever it was, Chiefs at Bills, the rivalry continues. And his tweet was, I can't wait for the Bills to win this game and feel nothing.
Right. Okay, I remember that now.
How about now?
Right.
Let's check in with Kevin if he's out there. Just like, now what? They won that game. The Chiefs were even smart enough to know not to lose by one score. So they could keep their one score thing going. They lose by 9. Brilliant.
Yep.
And they win the night. I can't wait for the Bills to win this game and then feel nothing. Bravo.
Here we go again.
Bravo. Does it feel good to feel nothing? No, it feels like, you're sort of lame for that. What do you mean nothing? Like, sports is fun. Winning is good. Yeah, well, beat them in the playoffs. And the whole year went by, and the Bills were everybody's darling because everybody eats, and, they didn't need Stephon Diggs, and everybody's in kumbaya and all this. And it's the same. The division fell apart. You couldn't have had an easier path to the playoffs than the Bills had. Slow down on how nobody expected anything from the Bills. Okay? Yes, the Jets and the Dolphins in some places were shorter odds in the playoffs. Everybody had the Bills in the playoffs. Everybody had them winning 10 or more games. It was just like, maybe this is the one year where they have some resistance in the AFC East. They didn't. That's not so much a reflection on them as it on the Jets and the Dolphins, who just completely fell apart, especially the Jets. So it wasn't like they were supposed to be bad. They were just not supposed to be great.
Right.
And they were really good, if not great. And the Chiefs were also really good, if not great. And the Ravens were great, but they lost 5 games. And here we are again. It's not like this was a plucky underdog. This was a team with goals of winning a championship, and they didn't get there. That's it. They traded Stephon Diggs by choice, and it worked.
Right. Until now. But
they
I mean, what are you going to, I don't know.
They were not supposed to be bad. They were supposed to be good, which they were. They just, lost. 803-0550. This is Mike Shope and the Bulldog, and this is Buffalo Bills football on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Our Sports Radio 550 and WGR550.com. This is a Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update.
Back to pass, they blitz Allen, and he's in trouble. He throws it down the field, and it's dropped. It's dropped. Dalton Kincaid had a chance to catch it, and he couldn't get to the football. They blitzed Allen, and 2 rushers came free.
Heartbreak once again for the Buffalo Bills as they lose to the Kansas City Chiefs 32-29 in the AFC Championship game, marking the 4th straight loss against Kansas City in the postseason, as well as remaining winless on the road in the playoffs since the 1992 AFC Championship game. Josh Allen, 22 of 34, 237 yards and 2 touchdowns in the air in this loss, while James Cook had 13 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mac Hollins pacing the Bills and receiving 3 catches, 73 yards, and a score. Patrick Mahomes, 18 of 26, 245 yards, and 1 touchdown through the air, while he added 2 scores on the ground. What's next for the Bills? Another painful exit into the offseason as Buffalo looks at the Chiefs ending their year once again. There is still 1 game left in the NFL's season. The Super Bowl will be a rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, these 2 teams clashing only a couple of years ago. Philadelphia punched their ticket to the Super Bowl with a blowout win over the Washington Commanders 55-23 earlier today. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, each with 3 rushing touchdowns in that win. This update delivered by the UPS Store. Be unstoppable. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
We're just arguing about rematch.
We're arguing about anything.
Yeah.
Just
We're
like,
name
a thing. I'm upset.
Edgy.
I
We're
disagree.
edgy.
I
Look,
disagree.
We're edgy.
Name a thing. I disagree.
Yeah. Vanilla bean ice cream is the best.
The best vanilla? Sure. The best ice cream? Not even in the top 50. But the best vanilla? Sure.
I just beat the brakes off you.
Yes. What is going to be the thing now? Did Sean McDermott blow it in some way? You know, he lost Rapp, which we knew was not a small thing. Like that was a guy that I think the Chiefs probably appreciated not having to face, because just a little bit more potential down the field. They didn't exactly torch the Bills in that way, but anyway, you know, that's not a small loss. Losing Benford, who, had a concussion last week and came back and got a concussion.
That was very tough. He
tough for him.
Was in
tough to watch.
Very tough shape. Sitting on the cart, even like there was just the 1,000-mile stare of 1,000-mile stairs there. That was very tough.
Big loss.
Big loss. Listen, I nothing against Rapp. And I don't know, like, who was where and who, I'm sure a lot of guys were partially responsible for Travis Kelce's very modest day. But Bishop was not at the scene of any crimes in this game. So I think that went okay. But Benford's a big loss. Yeah, I don't know. What is going to be the thing? I mean, a million things in this game. Because it's... I think the biggest single thing in this game is KC being able to take away that sneak. Such a huge play and automatic, and it was just a struggle all night long. And you know that man, you get a better spot on that one when they had the lead already. They force a 3 and out, and like there it is. There's my version of the game. Right, I'm already ahead. I've got the ball. I'm at midfield. There's 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I don't know how much time is left there. Like, I'm in great shape. Get another score. Oh man, just so tough on that play specifically. Right, it's not even like they didn't get scared off it. I wondered if they would. They didn't, and it still cost them. You know, like if they had tried something else and it failed, you know, we'd be screaming about that, right? Like, why did you go away from it? Because they stopped you once. Just do it again. Maybe try going off right guard instead of left guard because they're waiting on left guard, you know? But just could not get there. I mean, I don't know. The game didn't boil down to that, but that was That was huge. Not having that in your back pocket as an automatic is a tough way to live after the whole year or 2-3 years. How many years have we been living with him? Like, let's go ahead and do that. Couldn't do it.
At the same time, I recognize that as the play. I mean, not just a sneak, but Allen running has been – McDermott even used that term tonight.
Our best play.
Our best play. I've been saying that for 7 years. Like, that has been their best play. He said that again last week when they ended up kicking that field goal to go up 8 against Baltimore. That's our best play, but we're 3 yards out instead of 2 yards out.
Right.
So I can't be too critical, but I also want, and this is not, being disingenuous. I've said this all the time. Like, I also want this team to be one where they can get the ball down the field. And they just were never that team this year. Even adding Amari Cooper did not amount to that. His best game was his first game. Or the Ram game, I guess. The Ram game.
The Ram game was, yeah.
That was it. Tennessee.
Big plays against KC in the regular season, too. But, yeah, the Ram game.
Tennessee, where Coleman told him where to go. The Ram game, he got 14 targets and maybe caught 6. And then here and there, but otherwise, like, he did not change their offense. Like, he did not matter to the extent that they could sort of do that. They were not willing to open that up. And I'm not sure that was wrong, but they just were not that team tonight.
Yeah, they just never really got to any kind of forget about deep stuff. I mean, who makes a living in the league these days throwing it 50 yards down the field? I mean, it feels pretty rare. But what they never really had this year, in spots they did, but with any kind of regularity, was like an intermediate passing game that they could count on, that they could just bank on. Like 20 yards down the hash. That does not exist. It's a lot of bubble screen stuff, and what am I doing? 3rd and goal is a jump ball to Coleman. I mean, they got a touchdown out of it anyway, so no harm, no foul. But
what was that play?
Holy cow, I hate that play.
That's not even a fade. Like, he drilled it.
Yeah, it was
into the camera guys.
It was a bad throw. Yeah, very bad throw. Never had a chance.
What is that play? Don is next. Hi, Don.
Hey, guys, doing a great job as usual.
That's nice of you to say.
Thank you. So I'm just kind of bumming out here, just like everybody else, but is it time to start questioning, like, Brandon Beane? Like, other than drafting Josh in the first round, he hasn't hit any home runs at all. Even some second-round picks have been terrible, like Cody Ford, Boogie Basham, and whatnot. He gets all this credit for hitting on late-round picks, but your money is made in the first couple rounds, and we haven't had any difference makers. Oliver is like hit and miss. Russo is a good player, but he doesn't make any splash plays. We haven't gotten anything out of Kincaid or Elam is unplayable. He was terrible tonight.
Yeah.
It looked like he didn't even know where to go half the time. So I just want to know what you guys think about that we haven't really gotten any production out of the high end of the draft.
What I think is that it's always fair to scrutinize the draft. It's also ridiculously too easy to do what you're doing, which is to ignore the Benfords of the Milanos of the existence and just, hey guys, here's first round. So I would not do that, but just overall, I'm just not in the mood right now. This team has won constantly, almost like on a historic level, except when they play the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. And the idea, I mean, I might be in tough this week or this year, because the idea that we're supposed to sort of unearth this obvious problem is just ridiculous. Like, they win constantly. They lost tonight by a field goal. And, hey, everybody's in a big rush to call us and tell us what the problem is. And hey, guys, is it time to start scrutinizing the draft? It's always time to scrutinize the draft. They win constantly. And they've made a lot of good picks since Josh Allen. But others have not worked out. And that's mostly every team over a balance of time. Like, that's what happens to everybody, including Kansas City, including Belichick for 20 years. So should they draft better players? Yes, that's what they should do. They should draft better players. I agree. I'm just so not in the mood to sort of whack at the Bills right now. Like, we're all supposed to know what the thing is that they've been actually bad at. Because they, again, had the nerve to lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs by a field goal. Sorry. 803-0550, Mike Shope and the Bulldog. This is Buffalo Bills football on WGR Sports Radio 550. just want to say, I think this last Bills offensive play will be on the level of last year's last two Bills offensive plays, where there'll definitely be some discussion about, like, what's fair here. And there's Kincaid could have made the catch. Allen maybe should have looked to his left, seeing the blitz, knowing what they've done, what they've gotten out of that Shakir motion move in the past. Never even looks that way. And Brown just gets blown past by Karlaftis. I think it's Karlaftis on that play. So Allen is running both into the corner blitz he's not expecting and the edge rusher who's just like in his face immediately.
His escape route is non-existent.
Right. And he does well, I mean, incredibly well to get the ball out and give Kincaid a chance. But the clear play is to number 10.
Yeah.
And that's just not a consideration, as it turned out, on this play. And that's maybe a touchdown. Shakir.
It's definitely a first down and a lot of yards. There is one Kansas City player on that side of the field, and there is a Bills receiver,
Ty Johnson,
in front of that player.
Right, that guy's covering Ty Johnson.
So you're gonna have one guy to beat, really. Pursuit, whatever. But yeah, I really think that I don't know. Maybe as the week goes by, we'll get more clarity on what exactly was supposed to happen there, and what did happen, and whether Allen was trying to draw everyone to that side to go back to his left, and it came so fast that he never got there. I don't know. It would surprise me if that weren't in. I suppose it's possible they ran that as a decoy. But nobody bid on it. Like, if it's supposed to be a decoy, then the idea of that is to have people drawn to it, and then you're going somewhere else. But nobody went. Like, it was totally there for them if he had the time or didn't run right into the blitzing corner. He just did not expect that corner to come. They've been so good up front all year, and to have that happen, like I don't know what happened to Brown on that play yet. I have not looked at it closely enough.
The guy just runs right by him on his outside shoulder. It's 4th and 5. The fact that Kansas City would run a corner blitz on 4th and 5. I mean, that's
pretty ballsy,
right? Yeah. And 3rd and 5, maybe Allen has an easy time coming back to Shakir, but like this is it, and he might not think that he doesn't even know. Like, he doesn't even have a chance to take the chance to look and see what Shakir has. But if you watch this play again, you're going to hate it.
You are.
There's no one there.
Yeah.
And that was like why I compare it to last year is like that's Diggs on the second down play. Mm-hmm. Last year, like I think strategically this made sense, and just like there he is.
Yeah.
But you took the shot, and this play, not the same, but. Yeah, don't watch it tonight. Don't watch it.
Too late, I already did.
Don't watch it tonight. Brian is with us. Hi, Brian.
Hi, guys. First of all, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I know it's a lot to take in, and I've been trying to sort of gather my thoughts. And I appreciate what you said, Mike, earlier about this is not a plucky underdog team.
Right.
But they gave us something this season that I don't think that any of us were really expecting. Mm-hmm. Full credit to Allen and to Cook in particular, who played phenomenal down the stretch, and I don't know if he gets enough credit for it.
Man, I'm telling you, for me, Brian, if they win this game, that 4th down touchdown he made is an all-time Bills play. It's what an incredible, and much like what happens when you don't win the game, it's just going to be forgotten. But it was an incredible individual effort to get in the end zone on that play.
Yep.
It was. And to be honest with you guys, there's so many things I think we could second guess about this game, but, it is what it is. These things happen. I love this team. And I love that they gave me a run to the AFC Championship that I could have watched with my daughter, who's 11, who I put to bed in tears. But that's what Bills fandom is. That's what sports fandom is. And just what a hell of a run. Everything about it was great. And, I'm not in the mood to be mad. I'm not in the mood to second guess. I just really want to appreciate everything that they gave us this season. And that's really all I got.
Thanks, Brian. Good sentiment. Getting connected with the fans, powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store tomorrow. We'll get to the locker room next. Taron Johnson, Connor McGovern, Von Miller. Mike Shope and the Bulldog. You can join us tomorrow afternoon at 3. Maybe sleeping on this one would be good, and we'll see if we're not more clear-headed tomorrow. This is Buffalo Bills football on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Voice of the Buffalo Bills, WGR Sports Radio 550 and WGR550.com. This is a Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update.
And throws it out in the left flat. It's complete to Pirine, and he gets around Bernard for the first down and stays in bounds, and that will do it. That will do it.
The Buffalo Bills falling once again to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, 32-29, marking an 0-4 record against the Chiefs in their last 4 games in the postseason. The Chiefs once again heading to the Super Bowl, while the Bills also remain winless on the road in the playoffs since the 1992 AFC Championship game. Josh Allen, 22 of 34 for 237 yards and 2 touchdowns in the air in this loss. James Cook leading the way for the Bills on 13 carries, registering 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mac Hollins leading the Bills in receiving, 3 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. Patrick Mahomes, 18 of 26, 245 yards passing and 1 touchdown in the air, while Mahomes also added 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground in the win for Kansas City. What's next for the Bills? Another painful exit into the offseason as Buffalo looks once again at the Chiefs, ending their year. One more game left still in the NFL season, and that is the Super Bowl, which will be a rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia blew out the Washington Commanders earlier today, 55-23. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, each with 3 rushing touchdowns in that win. This update delivered by the UPS store. Be unstoppable. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Welcome back. The season ends in Kansas City again, 32-29. Mike Shope and the Bulldog here. Join us 3 to 7 tomorrow all week for the next however long, a year, another decade, whatever, just to talk about how the Bills maybe someday can get through this team and this level. Let's get to the locker room. Player interviews brought to you by Reimer Home Services. For everything your home needs, trust Reimer. Taron Johnson, Connor McGovern, and Von Miller here.
It's challenging, it's a tough moment for us. But I don't want to say it's part of the game, but it is, you know what I'm saying? We didn't, as far as like us as a defense, didn't execute as well as we should have. And it's tough, especially when we don't have another opportunity. So just got to go back to the drawing board this off season and get better. Is it harder being this team? They're a great team, they go to the Super Bowl pretty much every year for a reason, So just making sure that we do whatever we can to, if we get this opportunity again, just do better.
Defensively, what were some of those issues, especially first half?
I'd say, we didn't stop the pass very well. The catch and runs, I feel like were a problem for us. Just making sure that we get these guys down. At least if they catch the ball, we get them down as soon as we can. I don't think we did that, and yeah.
There's still belief in the team, but they're not getting and seeing the door open. How do you keep that mindset kind of moving into future seasons of just, building on this?
We've been in this situation before, so just making sure that just because it happened again doesn't mean it's going to keep happening, So just making sure that we're not taking that loss and bringing it to next season, just clean slate and go back to the drawing board and get better.
Did Mahomes run more, or maybe even in situations than you expected coming in?
We knew he was a scrambler. More so, thinking more scramble to throw the ball than scramble to run, and he used his feet today, and that helped him a lot.
What were the issues on sneaks tonight?
Sneaks, they had a great plan for us, bringing guys off the edge, inside, just wrapping up legs, keeping us from, because usually we have the success, just keep running our legs, keep driving, pushing that. They did a great job diving down low, just stopping us from being able to get that surge and push, that second push, really.
Well, you guys really started to get the run game going in the second half.
Yes.
Do you feel it took a little too long to get there, or were they doing something in the first half that you just weren't able to?
We were trying all different styles runs in the first half. Couldn't get anything going into the halftime. Like the last few minutes, we found out duos really work in the edge, and we're just like, all right, we're going to go back to our bread and butter in the second half and just nail it in, and that's what we did.
As a veteran, what do you say to a guy like Dalton? There's a lot of plays in a game, but that's going to be highlighted at the end. What do you say to a guy like that?
Like we all made mistakes tonight, and that's one of them. But it's one of the things, like, I had plays I couldn't, like, I should have at the end, they knew which way we were sliding. I should have checked out of it, and I take responsibility for that. We shouldn't put them in that position.
Yeah, tell me about that play. What happened? Josh said they brought somebody from the edge or something he didn't see in his first cadence.
5-man pro. We were on 2. Didn't see it. They didn't show anything, so we kept our protection on. They ended up spying on the left side, dropping, brought 3 to the right, and we didn't have enough to pick it up. Did a good job disguising that one.
That's specific to that play, but you guys have had a lot of success with that. How much does it hurt in this biggest moments that it didn't come through?
It's not great. The worst part is we had the chance there, and it's just so close but so far away at the same time. I would say that's the worst part.
And then Patrick is just really hard to beat.
Yeah, that catch with Dalton, it was right there too. I thought he caught it, and he didn't end up catching it, and that's just how it was.
Yeah, the ball was up there forever.
Yeah, it was up there forever. Kind of anticipated, zero blitz, got the ball out, and just wasn't able to, get it. And it was a great game on both sides, and we prepared all week to win. We went out there, played a great game, and they played a great game too. Went back and forth. It was a great game, and time in it, they had 3 more points than what we did. So appreciate it.
Von, what was it? Von, in the second half, you guys did a better job stopping the run. What was the difference?
These guys been battling all year. We got some hogs up front, and they were solid. Defensive line played great. Offensive line played great. And, it just went back and forth, and they just had 3 more points than what we did. So.
Taron Johnson, Connor McGovern, Von Miller from the locker room in Kansas City, and that's a wrap on our post-game coverage. 32-29 Chiefs in the AFC Championship. We'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 p.m. here locally. Thanks for listening tonight. Mike Shope and the Bulldog, WGR.